Breaking news this hour. 7 kilograms of TNT caused Friday night's derailment of a Russian express train on its way from Moscow to St. Petersburg. That is according to Russia's FSB. Now, at least 26 people have been confirmed dead, with 18 still unaccounted for. Now, with more than 100 injured and many in hospital, we'll get the latest. Let's speak to Matt Trezor, who's near the scene of the crash, and Yegor Piskunov at the Moscow station where the train began its journey. Hello to you both. First, Matt, I'll start with you. What's been happening at the scene?
Well, at the scene, like in the previous hours, it's been relatively quiet. Now a rescue and recovery effort. The only real outward embodiment, I would say, the only evidence that I can see that anything is really going on are the helicopters that we constantly see buzzing behind the tree line. We're about 6 kilometers away from the incident site, and we do see these helicopters going back and forth, doing their reconnaissance rounds, searching for more evidence, searching for perhaps any more victims, ostensibly any survivors, perhaps anything else associated with this incident. We see these helicopters flying around, and they're gathering all that information as they can. We still have local militia in the area, local police, and securing the roads and making sure that the proper people are going in and out. Security vans. I noticed a couple of vans that had the seal of the state prosecutor's office on it. So all the necessary officials are in the area doing the investigation that they need to try and suss out what happened here. Like you had said, the breaking development that we have right now is that the officials have confirmed that there is explosive residue on the track near the bomb crater, and they believe this is a homemade explosive device, all of which is lending credence towards the theory that this is indeed a terrorist blast. We have the opinion here, the analysis from Vladimir Yakunin. He is the head of the Russian Railway Society. Let's hear what he has to say.
The principal version being investigated is that an unidentified explosive device was detonated by unidentified persons, a terrorist attack in simple terms.
And let me get you up to speed on how things have been going so far. Basically, we had a 12-car train here headed at around 7 o'clock from Moscow to St. Petersburg. About halfway through its journey, this is a very popular railway line here in Russia. Halfway through its journey at around 9:15, there was ostensibly from the evidence that we can see and that has been disseminated to us, there was ostensibly an explosion on the track. And we know exactly, not exactly, but we know roughly how that played out right now. What you have is from the notes that I have here, you have one car, several cars actually derailed. Then one of those cars actually crashed into an electrical pole. That electrical pole collapsed onto the track, causing even more damage. The train was traveling at around 200 kilometers an hour. So you have a lot of speed, you have a lot of power, you have a lot of momentum going in one direction, and then on top of that, the collapsing of an electrical pole, all of which made this a confluence of deadly events for the people on that train, for the innocent victims. And I can tell you, I have seen firsthand 16 of these innocent victims as we were going along the track towards around 2 kilometers away from the incident site. You could see the bodies that they had set out there lining the track. It was a horrific sight, splattered with blood, men, women, jackets wrapped around their heads as a sign of respect and modesty, and just a tremendously horrific scene. It's hard to maintain journalistic objectivity in the face of something like that. And that's essentially kind of up to speed right now, a rescue and recovery effort going on here, searching for any remaining victims. We did hear from some eyewitnesses. Let's hear what they had to say.
It was around 9 p.m. I was reading a newspaper, then there was a loud crackle and the carriage started leaning. I was thrown out of my seat and dragged several meters along the carriage. A total of 3 carriages derailed, but only 2 of them actually overturned. We carried 20 people out with very serious injuries. There were 3 women, but they died. We couldn't save them. There was a little girl. I think she's fine. She can move on her own.
It was the first 2 cars that bore the brunt. The first one flew off the tracks, and everything in it, people and seats, were crushed. My seat was in the back, so I'm somewhat okay.
There was a loud noise, then we stopped abruptly, and then we went to get people out.
We were trying to free those who were trapped under seats and metal. Unfortunately, we couldn't save everyone.
Inside the car, everything was smashed, everything was on the floor.
So just an amazingly tragic scene. Right now we understand that relatives and families of the victims are coming to the incident site here to try and identify some of their loved ones' remains. For more on that, let's go to live to Igor Piskunov, who's got more information on the victims.
Well, thank you, Matt. And according to officials, those people who got injured in this attack are being transported to hospitals in both capitals, in Moscow and St. Petersburg, for medical assistance with various injuries. And they're also being assisted with psychological help as well.
Patients that we have at our hospital are stable, but their injuries are severe, and they're also in a very difficult psychological condition, so we're keeping them in intensive care.
According to Russian Railways, the company which operates this train, it's actually the second time that this train was attacked. Back in 2007, a similar incident involving an explosive device caused the derailment of several carriages, although thankfully that time it resulted in no fatalities, although dozens of people were injured and a criminal case on terrorism was started. 2 suspects were arrested, and both of them are thought to be from Northern Caucasus. Now, this time, Russian Railways says that it's now organizing a train to deliver the relatives of the victims of this disaster to the site of the train crash, although the company does not specify how many people will actually take this train. Russian Railways also say that around $3,000 will be paid to each person injured in this attack in compensation, and each family of the victims of this disaster will get around $17,000 in compensation. Unfortunately, for this case, this is quite a popular train route in Russia. It's actually one of the most popular trains from Moscow to St. Petersburg. Come and leave almost every hour, and this particular train is popular among business people, officials, and tourists as well. And we're now getting information that St. Petersburg's former senator Sergei Tarasov and the head of Russia's Federal Reserve Agency, Boris Yevstrazikov, have lost their lives in this attack. We also now know that around 60 trains had to be rerouted because of this incident, affecting nearly 27,000 travelers.
Okay, Igor Piskunov in Moscow and Matt Trezor near the scene of the tragedy. Thank you very much for updating us on that breaking news.